The key was getting Statoil involved, and it begins with a group of people that meet once a quarter under the guidance of Jim Golden, who at that time was our chief for economic development and now is the communications czar for the college. And we were sitting around, goes back a few years, talking about opportunities that VIMS and the college could undertake together. And one of the things that came up was algal energy in the context of coastal energy, because VIMS is an integral partner of the Virginia Coastal Energy Consortium. So one of the people who showed up at a later meeting was a fellow who runs an energy company here in town in Williamsburg, energy company called BlackRock. His name is Jay Diedzik, and he goes back in the energy industry 25 years. So he made friends with the people at the table and at VIMS and brought his friends from Statoil to that consortium. And things just rolled downhill from there. Once Statoil found out we had the capability, and once they heard some pitches and listened to some proposals, things began to move forward. And from there, partnerships naturally that were present at VIMS were brought into this group, and partnerships that we needed from outside were brought into this group.
Someone was walking by.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the group began to elaborate out to other universities, and we began to look for things we needed: chemical engineers that we don't have here at the college, process people, finance people, business people, and so on. But the real core of it was getting a major oil company, people in the petroleum business, in the transportation fuel business, to come forward and say, this looks like a good thing, let's do it, and to fund it at a fairly substantial level.
So what kind of input does Statoil get to have in the project?
A lot. They are on the steering committee. There's a person from VIMS, a director and dean down there, John Wells, myself, Jay Diedzik, and one of the members of the Statoil team sit on a 4-person steering committee for this group, and we meet periodically by phone and in person. So they've had from the very beginning the capacity to tailor the program and to say what elements they like and would like to fund, what elements they'd like to see. And when we make major changes in direction or bring in new partners, we tend to clear that with them. That's important because ultimately, we're a university, and we don't shrink wrap or sell products of any type. It's just not our business. So if this is ever going to go anywhere, it has to go through a commercial outlet, and having Statoil as that commercial outlet built in is really important to us.
That said, you're also on the verge of getting public funding as well through DOE, correct?
Right. We have a Department of Energy grant pending. The funding is supposed to arrive sometime this month. We're looking forward to that, to look at some fundamental science issues and to try to elaborate this thing into some directions that the initial project couldn't take into account. Those have not only fuel pieces, but very powerful environmental remediation pieces. So we'll be looking at the organic contaminants that may be sequestered by the algae, some of the metal problems that may be picked up by the algae and removed from the water, and other elements that we weren't able to do in the first round.
So it sounds like these two goals have to coalesce in one project. Your private funding has one idea in mind. DOE has a different one.
Actually, anticipating this Department of Energy funding, we went back into the Statoil Corporation and ran the environmental piece through their management, and they resonated with it and loved it. So we changed our original charter to incorporate environmental remediation as co-equally important with fuel production. So Statoil is very happy to see the environmental piece. As you know, the fjords in Norway periodically get problems from their runoff. They have the same issues that we have here, and sometimes even worse. So in addition to making fuel, we're now chartered and now expected to do something very positive to clean up water. And doing one and the other simultaneously is a real benefit.
Now, we spoke a little bit about this on the Project Raft, but there's a dichotomy with having this 21st century technology moving forward. Half a mile or so from Colonial Williamsburg, where they're demonstrating life in the 18th century,
yeah,
17th.
Right. Well, these algae are demonstrating life as it was at 600 million years ago. So in a sense, historically, this fits Colonial Williamsburg pretty well. We like history, and we like to be part of the natural process. So.